Yeah. The guitar did save my life. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, very rough, and to the point where I didn't really like school much growing up because I was for fear of getting beat up or hurt. At 4 years old, somebody got shot and killed at the end of my street, and they threw the gun in the ivy of my mother's house, and we had to lay on the floor because there was gunfire in the neighborhood. So from an early age, and my father and my mom got divorced when I was 4 years old. So Dad wasn't always around, and I would go to Grandma's house. But my dad would sit on the couch. I remember to this day, you know, the earliest recollections of my father are of him sitting on the couch playing a guitar that he had velvet, blue velvet, put on his guitar to match my mother's couch. And he played that damn guitar, and he would play like old George Jones and Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and, you know, Farron Young, like all these classic great country artists. And my mother didn't read music, but she would light all the candles in the house and sit and play music and just make things up. My dad knew songs he didn't write, and my mother, she would make things up. So there was an element of learning how to play, and there was an element of staying creative. And my dad gave me my first guitar in the Christmas time of '73. He gave me his guitar and bought himself a Martin. And I still have that Martin. When he died, I got the guitar. He gave it to me. And yeah, when I got that first guitar from him, I didn't want to let it go. Like it was my refuge. It was my thing to go to. It made me not afraid because I had something that was my own that I could create. I could drum something up. I could, you know, dig into the dirt and pull out a plant, you know. And that was what the guitar and singing meant to me because I was in choir and my dad sang, and my family could sing. They weren't professional singers, but they were good singers. And so I heard harmony, and I was in choir and all that, and as soon as I started carrying that guitar to school, people stopped fighting me and stealing my skateboard or beating me up or whatever. And I went and bought a suit, and I got a job in an Italian restaurant, playing and singing at the Italian restaurant, and I knew this is what I want to do. I made people smile. People would put money in a little jar for me, you know, and I could sing my songs about my life and about my thing and learn other people's music and learn how to write songs and share that. And to me, that was the essence of being alive. And I figured out a way to stop getting my ass kicked. So it worked. Yeah. So. Our star should shine. It'll be all in good time. I've worked with a lot of famous country singers, or, you know, some that were not so famous, but two big ones, Waylon Jennings and Dina Carter. And I love the music, and I love all kinds of music. I don't see the lines so much. The industry creates lines because they want to market things. You know, they want more candy bars in the candy bar section. You know what I mean? That's how it works. That's how the industry works. They want to know how to brand you and sell you, where music is a universal language to me. And, you know, so I love country, I love blues, I love rock, I love all, you know, when I was young I wanted to be David Bowie, and then but I still knew about Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and Hank Williams. And so my dad got cancer when I was 38, and I moved back from Nashville to see him through his sickness. And I watched it go from the beginning to the end in 6 months. He was big and strong, and then skinny and feeble, and then gone in my hands. So fast forward to the hospital room we knew he was going to go the next day. So I brought my old, I have a National Dobro, 1932, beautiful guitar. And I brought it to the side of his bed, and I sat and played it and for him, and I was singing I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, because that was one of the first songs that he taught me how to play. And it's such a beautiful lyric, you know. You know, you hear that lonesome whippoorwill, he sounds too blue to fly. That means he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. So I wanted to sing this to my father, you know, because that was my favorite song that he sang me, you know. And in the middle of the song, I'll be damned, he was such a, oh, he was like, I take after him in many ways. He grabs my arm, and he stops me, and he goes, he looks up, and he goes, blues. That was the last thing he said to me. And the next day he died. So I followed that, you know. Didn't mean I have to give up country, but, you know, I went pretty far, and, you know, I had Waylon Jennings managing me as an artist. Got a record deal, I got, you know, Keith Urban was already signed, and, you know, they were taking me to meetings with people in Nashville, because I lived in Nashville for a while, and they're like, you know, have you heard of Keith Urban? You're a little too bluesy for country. You know, I'm like, ah, man, this isn't working, like, it's not working. And that was before he died, you know. So I was in this mode of wanting to impress my father, but really, it's about trusting your instincts. That's what he did to become the man he was, because his father wasn't around. And when I was very young, he wasn't either. But later, we became buddies and played together. And I'd go out to he lived in the desert out in the dirt, had 20 acres out in the desert, and we'd light a big fire and sit around it, and all the people would gather around, and we'd sing songs, and, you know, it was irreplaceable. Irreplaceable. But he wanted to make sure that I knew, be yourself. You know, he used to always tell me, cut your hair. My hair used to be down to my ass. I was rock and roller, you know. He said, cut your hair, you know, you gotta make it play the game, you know, get in there. And so I did, and he goes, oh no, leave it long. I think my dad just wanted me to be confident. He saw me as a bit insecure when I was younger, you know. So he just wanted me to do my thing, be strong, go out there, apologize later, don't ask for permission, be yourself. And that's what I try to do. And he wanted me to know, play the blues. So that was his approval of me as a person before he died. So. My first demos coming up were on 2-inch. So I had that experience, and then I had a development deal at A&M Records, and that was on 2-inch. We didn't get the big deal. But then when it came time for me to actually make records, it went digital. First 2 albums were before Pro Tools, no auto-tuning, no nothing, just performance only. And it was the DA88s and the ADATs back in those days. And so you could rewind and do it again and rewind and do it again, but it was digital. You know, it was a digital format, it wasn't 2-inch tape. The warmth that comes out of tape is incredible. The technology that Pro Tools, you know, Logic, these digital formats that you have, the capability with those is endless. You can do anything. Having a hybrid and being able to reamp things and to, you know, D to A to D, you know, or that kind of thing, or the other way around, however you're going about it. You know, there's a marriage between those things. And the guy that taught me how to record, the one thing that he told me that I will take to my grave is the speakers don't lie. And if you put your head between those 2 speakers, and if, you know, once you place, everything has a place that it belongs in the spectrum. You know, if you're mixing in 5.1, if you're mixing in, you know, left and right, what have you, you know, there's a placement for things. And for me, I'm a live performer, and that's where my most experience is, and will probably always be, is live. As I get older, I want to spend more time. I'm tired of traveling all the time, but once I get there, it's great. But the thing is that I, you know, getting in the moment of like this way that we're set up to record Susie's record, to do the live studio session, it's like, it could be the Beatles, it could be whoever. It could be a Van Morrison record, it could be a Jimi Hendrix record, but it could also be, you know, a John Mayer record. It could be a James Bay record. It could be something that's, you know, that is modern technology with the classic way of doing things, and taking the best bits of all of it and making a big soup out of it. You know what I mean? And that's what you get here. That's what I respect about your approach, is that you know, I was watching tonight and I'm going, man, this guy is not missing, like, he's not going, well, we should have got more photos. We should have got better videotape. We should have, you know, we should have done it on digital. We got the analog, but we didn't save it to digital. You do it all of it. And if the tape stops, the digital keeps going. You know what I mean? You know, I look at the photos that you're sharing on your social media, which I abhor, actually. I'm not a big social media person, but I know how important it is. You actually put out photos that's capturing essence, not like, it doesn't have to be this commercial, you know, here I am and behind, you know, my guitar and giving that special look. You're capturing essence. That's the real stuff, you know, that's the stuff that makes people dig inside. That's hopefully the school that I'll always be a part of. I need to keep learning about the new thing, but I don't ever want to let go of the old thing. And that's what 2-inch tape is, that's what good mics are, and that's what's knowing what doesn't work and what does work. You know, and going for the thing. As Jerry called it, stuff. You gotta get the stuff. You know, that's important. Hi, this is Shawn Jones. I'm at Little Big Beat Studios in Liechtenstein, and I've had a great time here. I hope I get to do it again, and however we work together. It's an amazing place, and you have to come experience it. If you're a musician, I highly recommend coming and recording here, because you will get exactly what you set out to achieve. You're treated very respectfully, and they have all the best gear, and open hearts and open minds. And I love it here. So I'm very thankful to be here and do what we did. Thank you.